So it's there, that.
You got to wrap it around and then down. No, right.
That.
You got it right with the UK tie. I don't know why the yellow one is such an issue. There you go. That's it.
That's it. Nailed
That's
it.
the one.
Nailed it, mate. I'm Tom Campbell from Cultaholic.com. This is Sam Forward Russian Leg Sweep. Welcome to your Friday news. Let's do some. AEW destroys WWE in the ratings. A WWE legend is rumoured to be wrestling in Saudi Arabia, and we have an update on the retirement of Daniel Bryan. We'll get to that very soon. The results are in, Samuel Driver, and the winners of the Wednesday Night was WWE's PR team for that incredible tweet they put out just before the ratings were announced. Good result for AEW on their very first night.
It's amazing. It's genuinely amazing. I don't know if it's just because it was a brand new show that it was heavily marketed. Maybe people were giving it a chance that aren't usually wrestling viewers. Maybe people are coming back to it from years ago. But I think this is amazing. We don't quite have the +3s and +7s, which are your on-demand figures. I don't think we'll ever really know the WWE network figures, but like this is incredible. It's by some margin. This
1.4 million viewers for
against
AEW Dynamite against 891,000 for NXT. That's not a bad number for NXT. I mean, when they started, they were in the
neither of those
millions.
numbers would be sniffed at. But 1.4 million, that is something.
500,000 between Dynamite and NXT, and I think a big part of that, I think, as you say, it's the intrigue factor of it being a brand spanking new show. Google Trends also showed that a wide margin was between AEW and NXT. There was far more interest through the Google Trends for AEW than NXT. And, fun fact from Dave Meltzer, triple the amount of viewers for AEW Dynamite for NXT on PlayStation View.
Yeah, I was reading this. I think he said it was something to do it's not surprising given the demographic and the age groups that will be using PlayStation View, which I sort of understand. It's got to be younger people, but it's just all the new ways to watch, all these facts and figures, having to meld them together. But
as we said at the very beginning, the winners possibly are the WWE PR team, who about an hour before these figures were released, they sent out the following statement: "Congratulations to AEW on a successful premiere. The real winners of last night's head-to-head telecast are the fans, who can expect Wednesday nights to be a competitive and wild ride. And this is a marathon, not a one-night sprint."
I mean,
they made it a war. They made it a sprint.
Yeah, they were the ones that deliberately sort of block booked against it, and they've sort of brought this fight to their own doorstep. Chris Jericho's comments were rocking the boat a bit. I was like, calm down, mate, don't say anything too bad. I don't want it to jinx you. But I don't know if you want to tell everybody what Jericho said.
Jericho's words were, "They kind of started this war, and the very first night they got destroyed. Big deal, it's our debut, but they have to come back and say it's a marathon and not a one-night sprint. Who's ever said it's a one-night sprint? It's not a war for us. Now we're placed in one, and we're going to kick ass." Yeah, it's big talk.
But to follow that up, it wasn't so much that statement, it was to follow that up. I think he responded to somebody by saying, "They're embarrassed. I know how they work. They are embarrassed right now." And it was like, yeah, but stop jinxing yourself, please. We got next week to worry about. Obviously, figures are going to start to settle. We're going to get hopefully more and more viewers as the weeks go, but it is going to plateau at some point once you sort of reach that maximum saturation, and then that's the battle starts then of just retaining viewers. NXT after they've lost this week, I imagine next week, I don't know, Full Sail will be on fire while everybody's having matches. And there'll be Judy Bagwell on a pole. Forklift. You'll have, I don't know, they've got to really pull out some big boy tactics if they're gonna
really have.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think, like you say, AEW, we'll see. Obviously, this is the debut night for them, so that's part of the reason why I think the figures are so high. There's a saying in British football, which is, but can they do it on a cold Tuesday night in Stoke? We're going to find out in the next few months whether AEW can do it on a cold Tuesday night in Stoke.
Not Stoke, let's think, where are they going? Virginia, other American places.
It says here AEW announced massive arena show in Stoke, so it doesn't say that. Don't get excited if you're a Potter. They're not going to Stoke. On this day, I see clearly, not my words, the words of a man who's just bought glasses, and the words of Alter Bridge singing Edge's theme music, Metalingus, a song, Sam Driver, that maybe we could hear in Saudi Arabia at the end of the month.
This is. Part of me thinks it's tinfoil hat time. Part of me thinks this is really going to happen, and I'm going to be watching the entire thing like this, trying to. Oh yeah, I don't know if I even want this. I don't know.
We mentioned this a while ago on the news and a couple of times on the podcast as well. But there's been fresh speculation that Edge could indeed be having a comeback match at WWE Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. The reason this speculation has been fueled is partly because Edge has announced that he is leaving the Edge and Christian Pod of Awesomeness, the podcast that he does independently with Christian. So presumably a name change, unless you know somebody called Edge.
The Christian. Oh, you could get the Edge in from you too.
That'll do right, yeah. The Edge, that'll do fine. Or if you've got a mate called Ed, just scrub out the GE, save you hiring a Photoshopper again. Also, it's been revealed that Edge has indeed signed a new deal with the WWE. He kind of did a bit of playing against AEW when he went to WWE, and they've signed him up to a brand new contract as well. So he's leaving his independent podcast. He is staying with the WWE, and at SummerSlam did that spear.
Yeah,
did that spear that time.
The thing that's interesting here is I immediately figured, or maybe it's got something to do with the WWE podcast, like network type thing idea that was floating around a while ago, but then why would he leave and Christian not? And
Christian always gets a bum deal.
So, like, part of me thinks it could be a return to the ring. It could be something else. It could be that he's going onto one of the shows. It could be like the analysis shows. It could be anything. But like, if he's getting back in the ring, I don't.
You feel quite nervous watching him.
Yeah,
wrestle,
like I know he said that his neck is pretty much sorted now, or it's pretty close to being completely fine. But like, still, like it's just I'd be sat the entire time like this. Like, do you remember when Shawn Michaels landed on his head? Like in Saudi Arabia, like it's just stuff like that always worries me. Like it always puts me on edge.
No pun intended.
Oh no!
So the future of Daniel Bryan is something that we come back to on a regular basis in the news. Daniel Bryan has had a career renaissance since he returned last year, hasn't he, Sam?
Turning him heel was one of the best things I think they could have done with him. It's just been great. He's been a breath of fresh air.
And he's been speaking on the Bellas podcast. I mean, I'd be surprised if he turned down the Bellas podcast.
I would have asked. No, I still would have asked for an appearance fee.
Sorry, Bray. I'm only doing it if you give me all the money and do the ironing.
If you let me have another compostable toilet outside in our garden, then I'll do it. That's probably what he's done.
He was on there, he took part in a Q&A, and during the segment, Daniel talked a bit about his retirement plans, and he said, and I quote, "My retirement from full-time wrestling, which will be coming sooner rather than later in the next couple of years, that probably won't mean retirement for Brie, for how busy you are," talking to Brie, "it'll probably be me taking on more of the parental role." So the key word in there is the beginning where he says, "My retirement from full-time wrestling is coming up sooner rather than later."
And the key words there are full-time. I don't think he's going to leave the ring for good. I think we're just going to see him pop up.
Saudi money? Does he do this? He
doesn't do the Saudi shows, no. I think we'll maybe see him pop up for little programs here and there.
I don't mind him being sort of like a live-in legend for WWE.
Yeah, it's like, who's going to be your mystery tag partner? Daniel Bryan. Like, massive amounts of money.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
There's lots of little sort of green shoots coming up in WWE at the moment. Everywhere you look, guys like Austin Theory, who genuinely, down the road, Austin Theory becomes a big deal. Out comes Daniel Bryan. I want a match with you. Whoa, yeah. Money. Yeah, how are you feeling about this time possibly being the end of Daniel Bryan full time?
I'm all for people leaving the business and being able to have a life and being able to walk and be normal and not have to worry about niggling injuries that are gonna, keep them completely sidelined from anything they want to do in their social and personal lives. So I think, if he feels it's time for him to walk away, he's had a hell of a career. I mean, like, he was the king of the independents. Like, he's moved through, become the biggest deal ever in WWE. And yeah, if he thinks it's time to hang up like his hat, then that's it.
Before he goes away full time, which as he has said, sooner rather than later, is there one thing you'd like him to do before he goes?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Mine would be, and it won't happen. It won't happen because it's not the WWE's way. I'd love him to come out to Europe the final countdown one more time, like he did in Ring of Honor.
The thing is, I really wanted to see him versus Angle, but I don't know if it will be as good as it is in my head these days. I'd love to see that. That'd be great. I'd love to see him do something with Brian Kendrick and get Kendrick over again with the wider audience because he's been great in 205 Live. Like, yeah, it's just...
Actually, you talked 205 Live. There was the rumblings that his announcement was going to be that he was going to 205 Live.
This has been something that was milling around for months. I don't know where it came from, but it would have been great to see him there. But...
Yeah, I love the idea of Daniel Bryan. And for someone like Bryan, it wouldn't be a demotion at all. Yeah. It would be him bringing everybody up to the level. Yeah. Like him working with some of the guys down there. Brian Gulak.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be a technical masterclass.
Yeah, anything like that. You know what? But we've still got him for a little bit because the later hasn't arrived. We're living in the sooner.
But the thing is, like, if he's going to leave in the next couple of years, then you've got him and AJ probably leaving around the same time, which leaves a big couple of gaps.
Oh, yes, true.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine because Goldberg's back in good books. Full-time run for Goldberg.
Dolph Ziggler, Earth Warrior.
Yes!
Yes.
Do it, Vince. Book it, Vince. Have a great weekend. And finally, Bayley's been calling out people on Twitter again. Now, I know that we all live in this era, Sam, where a lot of wrestlers carry on storylines through Twitter, but Bayley's become a bit of a comedy figure in this because she seems just to randomly call out people and the match never happens. She's done it again, Sam. She's done it again. She said on Twitter regarding Candice LeRae, who had her NXT Women's Championship match on NXT the other night. She said, I've sat in a crowd watching you as a teenager and a fan. I've stood in the ring apron as your tag partner, and I've stood across the ring from you as an opponent, but my favourite was tonight watching you as your friend. I still gonna have a match for Hell in a Cell. How about another title match? Yeah, Bayley, because that's exactly the storyline that you are currently doing, just calling out NXT guys.
Do you think that the office are just frantically ringing her going, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Like, Bayley, come on now. You've got this thing on. No, but I'd like to fight my mate Candice. Yeah, but you're a heel now. I wonder whether she forgot.
Yeah, but they don't care about NXT as much as they said they did, because when she had the tag belts with Sasha, they were like, oh, NXT. Never once did they go down there and give a crap.
That's
so
true.
Don't try playing this now,
Bayley. Yeah, we're looking at you, Bayley.
Look at you.
With your wavy balloon men.
Hell in a Cell.
You're a Hell in a Cell. Probably not. You're probably quite a nice person.
Probably, yeah.
So that's going to do it for the news. Sam Driver has a very long day ahead of him. Sam is going to be live streaming.
Yes, we're live streaming SmackDown. Yeah, me and Pachiti. So later on, we'll be live on the channel. By later on, I mean much later on. We're talking like midnight. So yeah, just if you're going to watch along with us, come along and say hi. And debut episode of SmackDown Graded. Oh, my lovely yourself. New blue tie. You know, just make sure you tie it right. They kick off if you don't. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter @Cultaholic. You can check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you like what we do here at Cultaholic, you can check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/Cultaholic. And no matter what you do, don't ever forget to hit subscribe and join us.